What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the Marvel Legends! ROM Spaceknight. That's right, my zillions. It is ROM Spaceknight. What, you don't know who ROM Spaceknight is? I don't blame you, because I don't know if a lot of people do know who ROM Spaceknight is. But there is the cover of the first issue, and this is a comic accessory, and this is a new little, sub-series of Marvel Legends with these little mini comics. I don't think it's an actual comic. That would be really, really, really cool. And here is who you can get if you want. Marvel's Banshee, ROM, Ultimate Miles Morales, Dakin, who's, I guess, Wolverine's son, Adam Warlock, and Ultimate Iron Man. I have no interest in any of these, but ROM, in ROM number 1, the Spaceknight ROM tracks the vile, dire wraiths across the cosmos, arriving on Earth to continue his pledge to defeat them. Yeah, ROM. I liked ROM when I was a kid. I had a couple of ROM comics, though probably not the ones that came out in 1979, which I think is when the first issue might have come out. I don't remember which ROM comic I had, but I definitely had at least a couple of ROM comics, because I liked ROM. I mean, I've always grown up liking ROM. Now, there was like a 70s toy, a giant toy of ROM that I never got. I mean, I think it was maybe, it might have came out around that time period. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. And there's been very little representation of this character since then. Like, I think there was like a mini, 1/18 scale figure that came in a set that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, what I believe some Micronauts and some other things. A mask character. Was there Micronauts in there? Micronauts is another series that, oh my gosh, yes, it's like childhood is like right here. Micronauts, and man, we got some Micronauts coming, finally coming from Super 7. Just shipped my BBTS pile of loot, which only had a few items in there, just 3 items, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. We have ROM here, so without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here's ROM out of the packet, and a few notes before we get moving, because I can't look up this stuff before I start. Of course, I had to do that whole opening and then take the figure out, and then I'm like, hey, I should probably look up more stuff about ROM and that figure and stuff. So that figure came first. It was a toy by Parker Brothers, who had bought it, the property from a few others, and it was originally called Kobold when they bought it, and Parker Brothers changed it to ROM. So thank you, Parker Brothers. A lot easier. But yeah, then the series from Marvel started in end of 1979 and went till 1986. So yeah, absolutely, I had some ROM comics, like I thought I did. But he's really cool, and he's kind of like a cyborg. He kind of willingly gave up most of his body, to get the cyborg body to go fight the dire wraiths, which kind of destroyed a civilization, basically. It's very cool, and you know what? It's interesting. IDW got the license to do ROM, back in 2016, and they included it in their Transformers universe, which is kind of neat. I like that a lot, and it's also cool because this marks the second Marvel character, Death's Head, that I got recently from Marvel Legends, that are connected to Transformers, which is a main thing that I collect here. So pretty cool. So some interesting notes, and it makes sense that they did that since that Hasbro SDCC set, like I said, had ROM in it with some Transformers and other characters, Mask and stuff. Pretty neat little, short little condensed history there for you. So, history lesson all done. Speaking of history, we do get this comic book. It doesn't open. It looks like a comic book, it has kind of little lines on the side there. So it has that kind of comic booky look of ROM number 1 from December 1979. Recreated pretty well for such a tiny thing, and on the back it says a Marvel Legends series. It would have been cooler if it opened up. Like, give us like one page. That would have been neat. I don't really get like the whole idea behind this, but I feel like they could have done something even better. Next, we get 2 extra hands, 1 extra holding hand than what he already has, and 1 fist hand. We get 2 accessories for ROM. One that he has on we'll show in a second, and this one, which I believe this is the analyzer. Like, they're kind of made a little differently than what they look like old school in the comics. I don't know if they're sourcing like newer material for this, but I'm pretty sure this is the analyzer because it has stuff here that looks like it would be analyzing the dire wraiths and kind of picking them out. Yeah, it's kind of clunky looking, and it's funny because they do it comes with an effect part that's actually really nice, this blast effect part, and it could go on either one. So it's just kind of like they couldn't decide what to do either. Like, I don't know which one is which. But I'm pretty sure this is the analyzer. Yeah, what a big clunky thing. And then the other one, the smaller one, which is a little bit more neat and cool looking in my opinion because it's smaller. This is the neutralizer, which kind of zaps. They can zap the dire wraiths. They're not really wraith-like. They're kind of like these like clunky big alien monster dudes. What happens is he kind of zaps them, and it kind of zaps them into another dimension, basically, is what's going on, even though like it looks like he's just disintegrating them. So he's neutralizing them. Again, really nice effect part. And I do like this particular piece like more than the other one. So for me, this will be the neutralizer, this will be the analyzer. And I think I'm correct there. If anybody knows for sure or where the source is exactly for Hasbro's design on them, because again, it's not the classic design. It's similar, but it's not exact. Yeah, let us know down below. As far as ROM himself, let's start with the hands because we saw the other hands, but we didn't really look at him too close. Now, ROM is very interesting. His hands are kind of like you can see fingers in there, but they're like all together, like kind of like a glove, which is very, very interesting. Again, like the whole concept of ROM was his world was destroyed, basically ish. This grand being gave some of them the power to be space knights, and they fused their bodies with these armors, and like there's body parts that were taken out completely. So I don't know the full history of it. I didn't read all of ROM again when I was a kid, when I did get the comic. So yeah, I don't really remember that much, but I always like the look of the character is like what drew me to ROM. But I always remember these hands being like very, very strange, like mitts. It's kind of interesting. But it's a cool look all around. I do like how ROM looks, and I like this Legends figure. He's got extremely long legs. Almost oddly long. And it makes him a really, really big figure. It's cool, though, and he's got awesome feet. Really nice looking. Well done. Like, I'm pretty sure this is probably some other figure. Like, I don't know which figure. Kind of looks like maybe like a Colossus or something, but the legs look really skinny, so I'm not 100% sure. But if there's reuse, it's definitely here. And probably these arms from here to here, which are, pretty plain. Everything is in silver, as you can see. It's a very nice silver. They did a good job. Like, I don't know if it's completely paint or if it's, silver plastic. I thought this was a paint chip, but it's actually just kind of, mold flashing there. That's pretty cool. And then he's got this pretty awesome, like, chest to backpack piece. And then you see red painted in the little jetpack part. So it's like little thrusters are thrusting, which is pretty cool. And then you got the red there. Nice sculpt on the backpack. I like this tubing here. Looks really good. It goes to the front, and the front piece looks really good. It's so ROM. It's great. You got these rivets here, and then the red panels there, which look very, very nice. I love how this looks. I love how these look. Again, these are like definitely, I think, unique sculpts. And it looks very, very nicely done. The whole chest, you know, to here is awesome. I don't mind the legs at all, and obviously the feet are really nice. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, you know, the way they do things sometimes at these companies with like a lot of the reuse, you know, and then mix and match and have all these new parts. But it works, whatever works. I mean, it could be all new. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just talking. As you can see, it's all pinless joints. We'll go over the articulation in a second. But first up, we got to look at this head sculpt. And the interesting thing about it is the eyes are tampoed on. And that's fine. It's very weird and interesting, but it is kind of dot matrixy in there too. But yeah, it's definitely tampoed. And it looks good. It definitely gives that glowing effect. But the head shape all together is so perfect. I really, really like it. So, I mean, this is a cool looking figure in my eyes. Again, nostalgic for me. And just cool. Like, I can't believe we got a ROM figure finally. So, yeah, I'm loving this one. It's looking really, really good. And yeah, they did go with, I think, something else here. I didn't really look it up. But if you look at the original thing, it just kind of stops at the knees. Like you can even see here. So yeah, it's a little bit different. But I guess it works. Although it does make him look super, super tall. But then again, he's like a cyborg, you know, alien being already. So I know he's a humanoid being, but still. I don't know. I think I could give it a pass. All right, and the articulation. The head moves really, really nicely. Like, really, really well. I like that. That's good. Then the body, holy cow. For something with a backpack, you have the ab crunch, right? And then you got the upper body, which looks, it moves really well. Like, there's no waist, but, you know, they're doing sometimes these now. So you're twirling it up there instead. But man, it's a great range of motion. Like side to side, everything there. Hinge. And a swivel at the shoulder. Swivel at the bicep. Double jointed elbow. Works perfectly. The hinge is here, which is great. At the top. So you can do that with the guns. Very, very good instead of in and out. I like that. Legs, and not a full split. Kicks forward though, goes back a little bit. Your thigh swivel is basically a knee swivel on this one. And then double jointed knee, works very good. Rocker at the foot, and the hinge. So, you know, it's pretty good. I really like the upper body. This whole part just makes it feel very, very cool. And for your size comparisons, first up here is ROM with a couple of other Marvel Legends. Kind of standard size-ish Marvel Legends. Maybe, even these are a little bit tall, but look how much bigger ROM is than Iron Man and Crystar. How cool is this, seeing Crystar and ROM together? Oh, my childhood. Speaking of big Marvel Legends, here is a ROM with Death's Head, and both of them, yeah, have some connections with Transformers, which is very cool. And speaking of Transformers, here is ROM with the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And lastly, here's ROM with a bunch of other figures in the 1/12 scale that you might have in your collection. And my final thoughts, boy, there is something about the nostalgia of getting a character in figure form from when I was a kid that, like, will never get old. It is so awesome. It's an amazing feeling. I really loved ROM when I was a kid. Like, I love the character. I like drawing him. He's just so cool. And to have it as a Marvel Legend, yeah, I'm almost positive there's some reuse here. You guys can let me know again down below. But all in all, I still think Legends did a great job here. Yeah, the legs are long, but what else? Like, I think it works, and it's really cool, and I love the silver and the little pops of red, and I like the weapons. It just looks really, really nice. The backpack, it works. It works. It works for me. It works more than Crystar did in a lot of ways, and I thought Crystar was really good, but ultimately, like, I didn't love it enough where it made my tops of the year. I think ROM will, like, and you know, and if you guys know me, it's always like a weird thing with the Marvel Legends, but this one's really doing it for me. It's really cool. Again, it's a character that I grew up with, and I really like, and this is excellent. Honestly, this is excellent to have and to review for you guys. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you're new to the channel, watch guys and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection, because you never know what you're gonna see here. Till next time, peace out, peeps.